Hello boys and girls, welcome to BenchART. I'm for Classic, and for today what I do have in here is eFootball 2022, a game developed by PES Productions, and it is using Unreal Engine 4 this time around. So for the settings, I don't bring you good news, I'm just using the lowest settings possible. So what I have done in here it is to select the low presets and use 50% of resolution scaling at 720p resolution. So this is really bad regarding resolution and resolution scaling, and my target it was to get 60 frames per second, and yet I wasn't able to accomplish this all the time. So even with these settings, what I got it was an experience in between the 55 to 60 frames per second during gameplay, which is actually not bad. But cutscenes can drop from 30 frames per second to 15 frames per second. So if I do use the default low presets, the game defaults its resolution scaling to 80%. And despite the cutscenes runs the same in between the 15 to 30, the gameplay can drop to 45 frames per second, which for some people should be playable anyway. But I think that this is a football game, so you should always target 60 frames per second. So looking to the requirements, these guys ask for an i5 from the 2000 generation, 8 gigs of RAM, and the GTX 660 Ti, which despite it is a much older card than an MX130 or a GT940 MX, well, it is still way more stronger than these cards. So for the rest of the video, I will be commenting about, I mean, of what the hell Konami have done to this game, which is being one of the worst games received on Steam at the moment. And I will show you off this full match. Also, let me give you a warning. So despite the game asks for 8 gigs of RAM, this is if you have kind of enough VRAM to power up the game, which it seems it is not really the case. I don't really have issues for having this GPU with 2 gigabytes of VRAM, but what I want to say is that every time you start a game, you receive a warning saying that you need a GPU with at least 4 gigabytes of VRAM, which in case of my MX130, I only have 2 gigabytes, so I receive this warning all the time. And it seems that the game, it is, instead of using VRAM, it's using the RAM system, which is slower. And because of that, it is using 10 gigabytes of RAM. So I'm not really sure if 8 gigabytes of RAM, it is really enough to power up the game, because the game on my hand, with the 2 gigabytes graphic card, it is using 10 gigabytes. But, well, that's it. Let's comment a little bit now about the game.
Well, about the game, this is pretty shocking. This game scored on Steam at the moment, according to the users, 8% out of 100. So pretty much almost all the users are completely unsatisfied with this game because Konami decided to change the approach of the gameplay. Also, they decided to change the engine. So like I said, this is now an Unreal Engine 4 engine game. Previously, it was using the Fox engine from Kojima. And despite it was demanding graphically, I thought it was more interesting than what is being presented in here in Unreal Engine 4. And well, let's start maybe through the graphics, about the graphics. So the graphics wise, this is an Unreal Engine 4 game, and Unreal Engine 4 can be very powerful as well as unoptimized at sometimes. So the way I see it, this looks like a game from 10 years ago, but that demands as a game of today. So I don't think that the graphics are good or even remotely close to FIFA. There is tons of details that are missing that are not graphics related but physics related. For example, every time I perform a fall or something, it seems like all the animations feels very stiff, like there is some sort of physics missing or something. I don't know. It feels like there isn't anything normal about it. It feels like an old game inside of a new engine that lacks a lot of coding or something. It looks like an alpha version or a beta version. All right, that's the point. And well, what can I say more? Also, the pitch doesn't look good, especially on the replays. You barely can watch the grass leaves or something. I would say that FIFA gives 10-0 regarding graphics, alright? Now, regarding gameplay, I think a lot of people are more pissed off about the changes on gameplay than probably the graphics. There are some people, yes, that are criticizing the graphics. They say that it's very demanding, and it's true, it is very demanding at the moment. I don't think that the visuals justify the demandingness that there is behind this game, but still, regarding gameplay, there was a big change. I'm not really into sports games or football games essentially, so probably what I'm going to say might not be entirely true. But one of the things that I always noticed when I played FIFA and Pro Evolution Soccer is that the gameplay was pretty different. So for Pro Evolution Soccer, everything felt like a little bit stiff, but it felt like a loose game. The ball was wandering around the scenario, and it was fine. FIFA, on the other hand, it felt more a slower game where the ball seemed always to be stuck to the player or something. So it was a different game. And the way I see it, it feels like Pro Evolution Soccer. It is now going after the FIFA gameplay. They are trying to replicate a little bit the slowness and a little bit the fact that the ball feels attached to the player of the FIFA than what previously was known on the Pro Evolution Soccer. And this is shocking a lot of Pro Evolution Soccer fans, alright? And when I say this, I'm not saying that they are trying to clone FIFA, they just change the way that the game works. There are a lot of stuff that it isn't working properly, some random passes that just misses out of nowhere, and your teammate AIs don't do anything. So there are some weird stuff going on that on ranked matches or something might be a big deal, but I don't know. I mean, it's weird. I think there is still work to be done regarding every single stuff about this game. Physics, graphics, and gameplay. I feel that this is not finished, and one of the things that actually makes me say this with more confidence is the fact that when you start the game, it points out that the version of the game available, it is the 0.9. So this might be a good excuse for the fact that the game it isn't published as it should, because it feels like a beta, and probably it is kind of an available beta that they say that it is a final version. I don't know. I don't know what the hell is going on. And the only excuse that I have for this game is that this is a free game. So you can go to Steam and download it for free. You don't need to pay anything to play Pro Evolution Soccer right now. Now, there is a catch though. Unfortunately, this is like a demo. So there is like a bunch of teams available, like Barcelona, Manchester United, and a couple of more teams available. So it's like you have downloaded the demo, and you don't have anything more than that. Now, over time, this will change with new updates, new teams and modes will be added to the game. So this game will behave more of like a game as a service, just like Destiny 2, for example. They will be adding stuff to the game, just like it happens in the majority of the games. But I think this is quite confusing because at the moment the game it is called eFootball 2022, which doesn't make any sense, because if this is going to be a game as a service, why not just call it eFootball and that's it? Because games as a service usually exists throughout tons of years, like 2, 5, 10 years, I don't know. But, well, the way that the reception have been by the players about this game, well, probably it's not going to last too long. Now, the only good thing about this game is the fact that it is free to play. Upcoming updates, probably it won't be paid. I'm not really sure about it, but let's hope not. And it's available on the majority of the platforms, so PS4, PS5, Xbox One, Xbox Series, PC, and also, curiously enough, iOS and also Android. Not Stadia though, curiously, but you see, there is a ton of platforms where the game will be available. And the other good thing about it is that it's cross-saving. So you can go and play on your Android at school or work, and you get home and you fire your PS4, PS5, or your PC, whatever, and you continue your progression where you left on your Android device. which is a good thing. So let's hope that the future of eFootball gets a little bit better, because for now people are not really satisfied about it. I don't have really a good opinion about this too, but I'm not really a sports player, so yeah, I'm just going to let the main comments about the game for you on the channel, and that's about it. So guys, thank you a lot for watching, and I hope to see you soon. Goodbye.
His high-class wage. And there goes the final whistle. Barcelona win it by the only goal. Result, no question, the most important thing, however it came. Final score, 1-0. Yeah, it was never a match that was going to...